Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share a little bit of time and encouragement, hopefully some inspiration and faith today, along with, we'll have some entertainment, I'm sure. Well, you get to decide. Thank you sincerely to all of you who may be joining in, tuning in here live, and those of you who connect with us later. I'm going to drop the link to join here pretty shortly, and we'll see where the energy brings us. But today, in this day that's recognized here in the United States as Memorial Day, it really seems to be a good reminder of gratitude. To remember the sacrifices, the losses that others have made for the progression and development of this land we live in. And I'm speaking as an American. But on an individual level for yourself, what if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you were grateful for today? How much would you have? How much would you carry forward with you from today into tomorrow? If the only things that came with you were those things you were grateful for? Well, I hope to remind all of you, whoever's tuning in for this, that the time for appreciation, for gratitude for today, it's now. See, appreciation allows us to grow in what we can share. We can't share something if we don't have it, and you really don't have the things you don't appreciate. So appreciation allows us to grow in what we can share. And the result I found from appreciation, gratitude, you find joy, happiness, peace. And those are just a few examples that easily grow from your own individual practice of gratitude. And today, with the idea of growing in our practice of gratitude, recognizing the day that it is, Monday, May 27th, according to the calendar on my laptop, 2024. Holy cows, man. 50 years is a long time. I just realized that again. Sorry, I didn't mean to take us off topic there, but today, Memorial Day, that's where I was going. Coming from me, right? Man whose passion is peace. I'm going to go commingle with some brothers at the local chapter here in Spokane a little later, right after the stream. So today, forewarning, we may not have a really long stream because I've got plans coming up. The idea is to go stand on the corner and help raise awareness that wars are unnecessary. And then we'll do something. There's something more planned as well, something educational, I think. But anyway, today, Memorial Day, a day where the tradition is to recall and take a moment to reflect on the men and women who's given the ultimate sacrifice. They've given their lives away in defense of the nation. We don't have to limit it, though, to the military service, in my humble opinion. It's been a lot of men and women in the past, workers especially. Oh, that's right. They got another day. The Labor Day. But you know what? Many have made the ultimate sacrifice under the illusion that safety and security was going to be provided to those back home. It's the propaganda of war, and it's a lie. War doesn't bring safety to anyone. But nonetheless, today, the day of memorial, to recognize those from the past who did offer forth their life with the belief it would lead to something greater. The topic today for the stream is the idea behind memories and memorials. Oh, you know what? I meant to pull this up. Earlier today, there it is. Earlier today, I found my way online. Got it. On the with Gen X Jeff. And for those who are interested, please. There we go. I spent some time earlier on a different panel discussion with a friend of ours, Gen X Jeff. And I dropped the link in the chat for those who might be interested, and check him out. He's an interesting dude, and he's got a lot of wisdom in his noggin. I don't mean to minimize it. We had some fun conversations earlier today about myth of concern tied to the myth of freedom. Jeff had gone into some of the development and evolution of society in different structures and from different perspectives. So today, earlier, I was blessed to have already some inspiring conversations about the power of mind. And our mind is really, for the most part, our mind is the gift that we all possess. It's that mind that allows us to process the knowing that we can interpret and understand. Inside every one of us is a collection of memories that's unique. Nobody else has the same collection of memories. Even the same events will be experienced through a different perspective, a different state of being. So every one of us carry around these individual collection of memories. Many of our memories come from the external environment, things we were taught, traditions, customs. See, and this is where the difference between memory and memorials will come in. The memorial I considered like the day, it's to bring into focus something from the past for the purposes of tradition and recognition. Well, there's been a lot of traditions and dogmas, a lot of rules that are created for people to follow. You know, we start out with the children pledging their allegiance to a state organization that they don't understand. Holy cows, man. We live and die by flags, by symbols, by interpretations of facts. There's a holy perspective that can be found, though, within all of this. And the holy perspective is the one perspective that will last. Each of us, we're machines, and we're biological electrical machines that gather intelligence and identify memories. We gather memories together, and then we share the knowledge with each other. It's a wonderful complex system that we are all a part of, this complex system of life. Life is a miracle. We're a part of a miracle every single day. The memories of the past, though, they can cloud our day. They can make the day feel like a burden. Oh my God, I gotta get up again today. I remember those ideas. It's like, oh, not another day of life. That sucks, man. I wanted something different. Well, life doesn't have to be a burden. It doesn't have to be a chore. If you change your perspective, change your perspective on what you are, who you are, and what you represent. It's time. I believe this is the time. We're getting, I can only assume. I can't predict the future, and I don't claim to, but I see a lot of signs that this time here on Earth, there is a major shift happening. There is an awakening that many, many, many people throughout the population are going through. And it's all different ways, and it's all in different ways. And people are awakening to different perspectives on the greater picture and on themselves. But this is the time of ascension, the time of creation. This is God's time. God's time is eternal. Within us, because of the society we've created and the habits of life that we carry around, we're impatient. And especially in America, we've created this instant gratification. You want something, you look it up, someone will deliver it to you, whether it's food, a hooker, booze, you can get anything delivered to you. As long as you have the money. See, it's all about the money, baby. Isn't that right? Isn't that what we were taught back in the 80s? It's all about the money, baby. You got to be the wolf in this land of sheep. You got to devour lest you be eaten yourself. That's the nonsense these frat boys grew into executives and shareholders. That's the BS game they're telling each other. And I never realized how confused this world was. I never did. Until I started realizing how confused I really was. I had created for myself through my ego, through my beliefs, I'd created for myself a false sense of security and a comfort zone of safety. It became a prison because we are life. We are meant to be lived. We are here for the purpose of experience and growth. Growth means learning new things, discovering different parts about the world, about yourself. This life we've been given, it's a wild adventure. We never know exactly where it's going to lead us. However, back to what I was saying, I have the assumption, and I'll share it, because I believe as more people start to accept this, that it'll happen even more quickly. We are here to help bring healing to this world. And the healing can start as soon as we end the violence, as soon as we end the conflicts. Healing is natural. Healing occurs. It's the selfishness and the primitive, beastly nature of mankind that's been conditioned and cultured into our society. It's the beast and selfishness of the individuals that disrupt peace from being shared. And without peace, it's challenging to heal. It's hard to heal when you're running and dodging attacks, or when you're planning and scheming your next attack. You're not really focused on bringing forth the peace. And right before the live stream, this was my thought today regarding the day, Memorial Day. It truly is time for us to start honoring the sacrifices of others through peaceful recognition, through peaceful ways. The wars in this world do not have to continue. Matter of fact, Peace is what's natural. The wars are not. And this is kind of the individual collective story of humanity. God, the creator, the source of light, that which allows us the vision of knowing that God created us through whatever means and forms. I mean, this is way off topic and may really get some opinions back, but there's a lot of perspectives on the Old Testament and history and show that there may have been truly fallen angels, truly giants, truly some crazy, crazy happenings here on earth. And so if there was a time where perhaps there were these beings who came from beyond this terrestrial form, maybe extraterrestrial or angelic, whatever, they fall here to earth and, as the legends say, taught mankind all sorts of amazing things: agriculture, the metallurgy, able to create both weapons and uh, hose, gardening equipment. So allegedly, potentially, there was a time where humanity came into being in this way that we are. And at different times in history, there were many different influences in the culture and the behavior of different regions in the world. World history is fascinating, and there's so much of it I still hope to learn, because there's so many different perspectives and cultures that have developed all through the same forces of creation that are universal between us all, regardless of the dirt we were born into, born onto, regardless of what land or nation state we are. We still survive here on earth, all under the same universal governing frequencies and energies. The belief that mankind is divided by nations or religions or colors or all of that, that is a belief. It doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us to believe that as long as I'm safe, it doesn't matter what happens to them. That's an idiot's conclusion. Because the reality is there is one human race here on Earth, comes in many different colors and shapes and sizes, but there's one of us here on Earth, and we're all creating history together. Divided, 7 billion people are saying, oh, I can't do anything. It's just, what can one person do? Says 7 billion. Well, join me. Let's see what we can do when we unite as one with the realization that this is our time, this is our lifetime. Right here, while we're here, wherever we are, this is our lifetime to experience this earth, this body, this world, and all of the amazing, diverse creatures that are here. All of us, we're just creatures of earth. We're animals who have been given consciousness, the awareness, the gift of reasoning and intellect, reasoning and intellect. That's where I was shooting for. And then through those gifts, additionally, and the memory, the ability to recall, we have the gift of imagination. Praise God. The gift of imagination. It's an incredible power that's been offered for us. This imagination we've got, it can lead us many different ways. to the future, to the past. The imagination can cross distance as well. But if we don't pay attention to the imagination can take over your life. See, we live in a world where pretend is profitable because people have been conditioned to be entertained and to obey. When they're not obedient, they don't know what to do and they get bored. And so the beastly animal, when it's bored, it seeks entertainment. It's natural within us. We're here on earth to experience life. So when people get bored, they look for entertainment, they look for distractions. Hey, blessings to you. I looked. I do not know the answer to this as well. I trust he's doing well. It's not like Paul to take a day off, but I assumed he may have mentioned something yesterday. That's why you people are here. Please, I have no way to reach him. Belief, a synonym for made up fiction. Made up fiction, a synonym for not real. Not real equals pretend. Pretend equals fake. Fake equals not true. Not true equals a lie. Time to stop lying and pretending. Let's stay real. Amen. Amen, new guru. This is our lifetime to become real. We become real by accepting that which is real. You know what is real? Today. Right now. Right now, at this very moment, is what is real. It's the only time that matters is now. So each moment of now, we can be in chaos and ready to fight. That's the habits that, the masters want. If you learn how to focus your mind, though, number one, realize your own confusion. It's time to find the truth in your mind. I recommend this. You live your life how you want, but this is what I did, and I'm encouraging you to try to learn from my experience. But if you go within your mind to identify the distinction between the memories and the memorials, what are you remembering because someone else told you to remember? Right? Society says, oh, if you experience that in life, you should never forgive. You should never forget that. And so people have these anchor points of memories in their mind that they bring up in memorial. Oh, I was such a victim. Oh, I can even feel the pain again. I used to do that to myself, carrying these momentary states of being in pain where I may have been a victim of circumstance or a victim of experience. But these memorials, the resentment, the enabling that people offer, you don't have to carry the pain around. You don't have to carry the suffering with you. You don't have to carry the worries. The majority of, let me just tell the story from what I can see. I suspect the majority of the American population has been brainwashed. They've been conditioned into false beliefs. Now, nobody is to blame because every individual is responsible for what they choose to accept, what they choose to believe. Every single individual has a responsibility within themselves to clear out their mind, to heal themselves from the trauma of the past. And if you don't know how to heal yourself, look around in the greater world, because the answers are there for those who seek. This world we live in, it can be tough. But once you identify the patterns of life and you can start flowing with the rhythms, the highs aren't so high, the lows aren't so low. It's all just a peaceful, dreamy experience. Because I trust that's what the spirit feels. That's what the spirit knows. The spirit that is beyond our limited cognition. I love this. Hey, I missed. Right now is all there is. Right now is the truth. Right now is existence. Existence is an opportunity. Wise are those who seize this opportunity of the moment called now. We capture it, become one with the moment, get lost from time, escape the past and future, becoming one with the present, which is eternal. Connect the dots. Right now is a divine gift that renews itself as an opportunity infinitely, and for us stay so long as we have this divine breath. Through the divine breath, we experience these moments of right now. What a gift. I mean, that really does. I mean, it's my intention sincerely with the idea. What if you woke up tomorrow with only the things you were grateful for today? It's a simple but powerful thing to consider. And I'd heard that a number of years ago along my way. And it's absurd. It's an absurd question. What would cause that? How could that happen? And, who cares? Allow your mind to expand and consider the results. I mean, just considering the logic. Consider the logic and reasoning behind growing in your appreciation. If you can be grateful despite challenges and obstacles and diagnosis and loss, if you can be grateful despite the challenges of life, guess what? You're going to be a joy to be around. And if you're a joy to be around as you face those challenges in life, in theory, you won't face them on your own. See, that's where the American way has lost sight. The American way has been so proud of the individual accomplishment without realizing, it really does. It takes a village to raise a child. Every community helps create. The community is both formed by and it affects the people within it. We all have the opportunity each day, each moment of each day that we have within us, the gift, the breath of life. Each moment of each day, we have the opportunity to serve forth the good that we can. And we don't know the good that we can serve forth if we don't try. I see many people in the world. They're trying in clumsy ways and many without clear clarity, without clear intentions. I see many people doing destructive things in the name of trying to make things better. I mean, that's kind of the deception of the whole government system. But what I know we can do, every single one of us, we can all bring forth the healing that we've been looking for. The healing we're trying to find, the love that we're looking for, that relationship, that whatever it is we feel we're lacking, the answer is inside. But it's through the experience with each other, the different perspectives we may meet, Those different perspectives can help us discover more of what's within us, but it requires an open mind, a willingness to know. Many people, because of this world that we've been conditioned in of separation and punishments, I see a lot of people who are afraid to be wrong. And people will argue and go to war just to try and prove themselves right. It's it's an illusion. Thank you. Belief, yes. Belief is the end of exploration, the ultimate disservice to self. Mind is meant for discovery and exploration. Let go and be healthy in the moment. Enjoy this path of discovery and unblock the path. What could block the path of our exploration? What could block the path of our continuing discovery? A judgment, a conclusion, a conviction, something we've picked up along the way. This world we're living in, it's quite an amazing dream. The dream of life. It didn't continue for many yesterday, but we made it through. And just as we're making it through today, there's new life that's being born and created. This realm we live in, it is an amazing, amazing gift. The gift, though, of life and the gift of what can be, it's hidden by confusion, by guilt, by preconceived notions, by, what was the word? Cognitive bias. Those things can cloud us and keep us from receiving the clarity of what we already know. Clarity is another divine gift, the path to gratitude. And thank you. Humility. Humility is the key for clarity, because without humility, how are we going to admit we have questions? We must be willing to find the limits of our knowledge. We must discover, where am I ignorant? Where am I blind? Within myself, with my own patterns, what am I not seeing myself doing? And then in the greater world, what is this block that's keeping me from success, from fulfillment, from joy? What's keeping me from living the life of my dreams? Holy cows, man. Some of this is very bizarre. Arguing is war. An external egoic projection of internal conflict onto another. Discord is war in motion. To end this, simply let go and be at peace. It is so simple. The path of surrender and inner knowing is so simple. The mind rejects it. The brain and the mind reject it only because we were raised in a society that teaches division and limits. It's quite an interesting thing. I'm not going to engage much in this. I get just over $300 a month from my VA disability. I survived in an eviction on this house because I had quite a bit of equity in this property. So there's more involved than you may realize. But if you don't find the limits of your ignorance, you'll just imagine and assume all sorts of things. Peace is not a formula and achievement. Peace is when we let go of all the formulas and chasing and just enjoy that being that. Enjoy the being that remains. Yes. If you want to know peace, allow yourself, give yourself permission in the present moment of now, whether you do this at this moment of now or at a now in the near future, please do it. Give yourself permission to let it go, to allow yourself the stillness and the clarity of just being, even if it's just for a short period of time. But the goal of meditation is just this, the peace that's found when we let go of all the formulas and chasing, all the scheming, all the memories, all the traditions, and we just enjoy the being that remains. So with that practice of the idea of meditation is to seek and grow within your mind, within your awareness. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to let go of the world and just know you as the moment of being you. And then if you can, stay in that moment of being you. You don't have to stay still, but if you stay in that still presence of mind in just observing being you, you can continue on with the day and just pick up the problems you want. I recommend don't pick them back up, right? Just let the problems go and allow your mind to be free for the solutions to become clear. Peace, it's not a formula and achievement, it's letting those go. And just being. Because through just being, you can realize God is. God is doing the all. We only perceive the small bits of the all that we can find. But our perspective on the all and everything that's happening, it's very small. I mean, we've got to realize the limits of our own mind. But so many people are focused on trying to find the limits of everybody else and pushing limits. And, it's the rebellious nature that's built within us. And of course, why wouldn't we have a rebellious nature? That's what's required for growth. You got to push past the things that were old limits. And this is what I hope to share, hope to encourage. Let's start a practice and a movement where gratitude truly is what we show, where gratitude is shared. Why? Because it's free. Because we know it helps. We can be grateful with each other. We can also be cynical and rude with each other. We get to choose all of it. Stay focused. Practice consistent focus wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And if you have clarity in your mind, what is my focus? I've changed your focus may change depending on the activity, depending on the moment and the experience. But in the back, my focus is love. It is peace. My goal is to find ways to share the energies of love and peace with others. Because I know as the energies of love and peace are shared, more people will feel safe to be their authentic selves. And as more people feel safe to be their authentic selves, well, they'll learn more about themselves and they'll learn more about others. Because honest people, they learn how to listen. You don't want to be inaccurate. You want to be truthful. So honest people practice listening. And this is what I've been practicing, practice being calm. I noticed this, and thank you for this reminder, Nude Guru. As I was developing in my own practice of meditation, and I didn't have anyone working with me directly. I taught myself from learning from a lot of other different experiences. And I encourage you. It's your body, it's your life. Figure out how to get to know you. Learn from what others have found effective, but discover your style, your way of being calm, being at peace. And then once we find the calm, here's where I meant. As I started growing in this practice, I actually had to break the habit. Feeling at peace was abnormal to me, but for sober was abnormal to me as well. So I'd already gone through the shift of being mostly drunk to being sober. And so now the shift was to go from being sober and anxious to sober and calm. And for those who have grown up in patterns of conflict and fighting, really tough ways of surviving, being calm feels weird, feels scary even, because you're wondering, all right, here's a moment of peace. So now what? Where's the shoe going to drop? Where's the bad news? Who's coming at me? The mind of paranoia, it's a beast. See, the darkness of thought, we can get into dark thoughts and not even realize it unless we're paying attention. And if you take anything from today, the idea of trying to bring more focus and more clarity just into the present moment, I think that's a wonderful, well, how are you going to live your life if you don't pay attention to the present? And I mean, these are obvious things, but how are you paying attention to the present if you're so caught up in your memories and your conclusions? You can't. The way we're living, the way this world is designed, it's not natural for us. I mean, I suspect it's all by God's grace that everything is, and is by God's purpose that everything is. So let's find the meaning. I believe the meaning of the world and what we're experiencing today, the purpose behind it, it's a wake-up call. Brothers and sisters, it's time for humanity to wake up. We can actually get so comfortable in toxic energy with enough engagement, it's uncomfortable to get out at first. Seems this way with all addiction. To break the cycle, you must endure some level of uncomfortableness for some time until balance returns. I haven't considered it completely through to find what would be a reason behind it, but it makes perfect sense. We develop these patterns and habits. We create, well, as they talk about neuroplasticity, as the neurons fire, the pathways, the connections will strengthen, they'll deepen. It's like we create ruts in our minds. The wonderful thing about our design, though, with the minds, as science shows, is we can reprogram ourselves. That's not the best choice of words, but we can we can re-engage the patterns of our minds. Through the gift of individual awareness, the awareness of your inner state, you have the ability to recognize the patterns of thoughts and to interrogate, capture the thoughts that come through, to really determine, is this thought me or is this thought coming from somewhere else? Doing those things, we can break those cycles. And, there is some truth too. There's delayed gratification. That is a part of maturing and individual development, putting off the reward for the purposes of, patience and nurturing for the rewards to blossom. That's the way nature works. And the good things in life, they do come through some sort of struggle. And the reality is, when we become prisoners to those addictions, that testimony of the darkness can never be taken from you. You know what it feels like. You know what you lived with, and you know how powerful you were. But the strength that comes from overcoming such a demon makes you feel pretty good, man. Makes you feel pretty good. So what if that is our purpose, is that we're here just to grow into a greater version of our authentic, true self? What if all of these challenges and even the addictions, the betrayals, what if all these conflicts and attacks, what if it is all by a greater purpose for our spiritual development, the refinement of our moral integrity, our moral character? I mean, we all have a say in what's enough and what am I willing, not willing to continue to accept. Mindset is the key. And this is where, if you can unite with a couple of connections and have a small tribe, you can really empower the mind. Mindset is the key. But whether there's external influence, if there's positive or negative reinforcements outside, it doesn't matter. Mindset is the key. Determination. When you choose no excuses, you will let none be a block in your path. That changed my life. The day I chose no more excuses, no more blame, Jack. This is your life. Suck it up, accept it, change it. If you want to be happier, do something to make yourself happier. Do stuff that you deserve happiness for doing. You ever thought about that? That maybe if you need more happiness in your life, maybe you should do more things that you would be happy you were doing? Sometimes it's that simple. Sometimes it requires a friend to tell you something simple like that, to point out to you, hey, you seem to be picking up kind of a bad pattern of bad mood. You all right? Something you can do to change your direction, something I can offer to bring more happiness into your day. We can all offer forth into this world whatever it is we choose, whatever we feel and we think of. But if we don't monitor our state and what we're doing with our time, we can spend time on these foolish ideas, foolish feelings that really accomplish very little. This world we were born into, the one of commerce and division, the world of competition, it profits from people being confused. It profits from people who think there's no solution other than the government or money. I had, regarding that last comment too, I had a conversation earlier today about the power of choice. There is tremendous value in reminders from others. It helped save me from despair many times. The idea of the power of choice. What will change someone's life? Their choice. What will change their Where did it go? When you choose no excuse, or that mindset and determination. If you aren't determined to accomplish anything, something, guess what you're going to do? You're going to find excuses and reasons why you don't accomplish it. It's as simple as that. People, I believe, well, the insecure, those who are not whole and confident, those who are fractured, still wounded, they lack trust. And with a lack in trust, people lack confidence. And without confidence and the trust in themselves, people have a reluctance to commit. I used to see myself doing that, avoiding commitment in many different ways. And I didn't realize it until, through my studies of the mind and emotion, and as I gotten through many of the initial steps of recovery, I started noticing these things. Those who are afraid will lack determination. Those who are afraid, they'll lack the willingness to step out, to be different, to try and bring forth the change to different things. Hey, Margot, my patience for you and many others is very slim. And Sterling Ray, your confusion, you seem to be looping and focused on what? Your confusion. You seem to be focused on your confusion. And I don't understand what is going on. I'm just evaluating. Did I ever drop the link? I don't know if I did or not. Whoops. Holy cows. I don't think I did. I'm going to drop the link. I thought I had done that earlier. Let's see. Yeah. I appreciate that, Jay. I don't know. It's a question that I'm attempting to find answers to. So the bizarreness of some of you people are just the confusion is what's being offered, and I'm offered opportunities to face people's doubts, face people's beliefs, and to face their confusion. Yet, well, praise God, this is the life we all get to live. And we all get to choose what we share and what we offer with each other. Hey, Sterling Ray, I have asked for assistance. And I mean, if you're trying to make the claim, then I never offered that specific ask for assistance towards that direction of my daughter. That might be true. I know that what my first goal is anyone in Spokane might be willing to help me reach out in many different directions. So this is the life I'm living. And okay, well, congratulations, Sterling Ray. I have never asked for assistance until today for finding my daughter, for finding a young lady who might be related to me. So what? Why am I under, you know what, Sterling Ray, I've had enough. I dealt with you over at Gen X, Jeff, and Tired of the distractions, to be honest. It's not so much when one disagrees with Jack, it's when one refuses to consider the facts that are offered through Jack. And my credibility is challenged. And yes, Swim, I saw that. Margot enters. It's just more. It's just more of the nonsense. What what do you think is a fair question, Red? You're kind of a fool too, from what I've seen. Welcome, London. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, Jack? Good
Feeling blessed.
evening. Good afternoon where you are.
Good afternoon to you. Margot, you can leave my life. You don't need to be spreading your opinions as though you have firsthand experience, because all you do is think things, Margot. Sorry, London. No.
Still putting you through it, eh? They're still putting you through it.
People are relentless.
Mm.
I mean, I went to Gen X Jeff earlier today, yesterday too. We had some really nice conversations. And then yesterday the chaos showed up on the panel, and today, yeah, I'm facing constant criticism and attacks, accusations of my character and my integrity by people who could easily know different than what they're saying, but I don't know. This is hilarious. Paul doesn't consider me his friend. Paul cares about himself. And I've yet to see Paul really express care for me. He cares about his ego. So, Turner, all of these freaking people, man.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Staying centered in love in the face of the confusion. You know, I trust that the truth will be known. I've been counting on this for a long time. My life changed. There was a lot of confusion around me. People didn't know what to think, and then they started avoiding me. But I know that as time continues, the veils of confusion, they'll fade away, and eventually I'll be able to have conversations again with people from my past. So I honestly don't know why it's been so difficult. Except must be God. That's the only explanation I can come up with, is God. My failures, my repeated failures, at the same time as my continuing safety and comfort, I had to admit there's greater forces going on. Much greater forces. And when people move past their confusion, they can look to see the greater picture. And it's really that simple. We live in a world of confusion and make believe, where people are pretending what they believe is real. I'm an example of it.
Yeah, what I've come to realize on this metaverse, whoever's got the worst story wins the race.
The worst story wins the race. In a way, I see that as the victim mindset that's been perpetuated through the media and entertainment. And I think you're right. Um, Welcome, High Quality. How are you today?
What's going on, Jack? It's a dreary day out here, but I'm thinking we can overcome some confusion today.
What confusion have you found that you're willing to resolve?
Well, confusion going on over on OTW, and I decided not to partake in that confusion. I decided to disregard it.
Thank you.
See what you're up to. You know?
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciated the heads up, I think. What others are doing. I mean, the crazy thing is, many people on these panels, I thought we could be friends. Others chose to disrespect me. And I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I think it's a little harsh. You know, I think they try to take your words and stretch it to mean other things. So I think that's kind of wrong. I don't think that's standing for what's true and what's right. So I'm not going to stand along that.
What I did, I think I may be out of the loop on something. Something happened today.
Apparently on OTW, there was discussion about and allegations of me being a rapist of sorts.
What?
And then ever since, I've also been dealing with all these questions about the young lady who might be a daughter. So it's the gossiping. And Tim Bob, if you think about that, I think you can answer that question for yourself pretty easily. Often people judge the messenger and they actually refuse to accept the information just because of how they perceive, if they perceive a flaw in how it's said or the person who's delivering it. The lack of respect is the egoic arrogance, and it's what keeps the world confused, Tim Bob. I hope that makes sense. Yes. The young lady is in reference to the child that was conceived and born during the time I was in Korea. Well, the time I was in military. Thank you. The gossip and drama queen equals distraction. And here's what we're missing out on life. We can spend our time engaged with the gossip and drama. We can focus on the distractions from life. But what are we gaining? What are we sharing to the world when we're doing that?
I agree, but the only reason I brought it up to you is because it was kind of a serious claim, and I thought that was kind of messed.
Thank you. I
That's the
do
only reason I brought it up.
I do appreciate that. Um, the reality is there's been so many accusations, so many false narratives said about me. I literally well, I don't know that I could face all of the false things that have been said, nor do I want to spend any time chasing people anymore.
Well, apparently you've stolen a bus, and you're Hitler, and you've been to the moon, and there's so many different variations of you out there now. Um, You know, so it's like, who knows, you know? Is this even real, you know?
Well, here's where I'm holding faith. I have faith in the miraculous. I have faith in God. And I trust that, well, in the stories, God allows people of faith and devotion to be tested and challenged for the purposes of then raising them up for the purpose of glorifying God. And I tell you what, well, God's allowed me to lose everyone and everything I cared about on earth, and then continuing, rather than, while I meet a lot of really cool people, God's also allowed me to find a lot of people who want to publicly mock me, treat me like a joke, you know, some public humiliation. I guess that's what the world thinks I need in order to succeed. But, well, if I'm right, I am devoted and to God. My purpose, as I've said for a long time, is to share the meaning of live without fear, the truth of God's love through the world, so that we might actually end wars here on earth, maybe even save a few lives if God would allow, and then bring forth reforms for the future so other generations don't have to send their children off to war. And I mean, why not? Today, let's truly honor Memorial Day. Let's truly honor. Let's bring peace to this world. Peace is not found through violence. It's not found through war. Peace is found by choice. And we must be determined within ourselves to feel the peace that is available. We must give ourselves permission to allow ourselves to know the peace that's beyond understanding. And that peace that's available beyond understanding, it is in the present moment of now. And it's when we align our thoughts with love. When we surrender ourselves to the present, to this moment of being, and just simply be the awareness of being. And then with the power of imagination, fill your beingness with gratitude and appreciation. And when you fill yourself with appreciation and gratitude, that's the expression of love you can know all on your own. So then the key just becomes stay present, continue to see how much more you can be grateful for, how much more you can appreciate. And one of the keys I heard recently, and I'm practicing this myself too, I think if we focus less on what we are doing and focus on more of I am, what am I, instead of what am I doing, when we have clarity on who I am in this present moment, well, then you've got a better idea of your purpose. And if you align your purpose and who you are with the environment, and in my mind, Moose, you're coming up in a perfect example. You're going to play many different roles depending on where you're at and which moment you're in. Sometimes you're a dad, sometimes you're a husband, sometimes you're a friend. Sometimes you're an asshole, but I'm trying to avoid the asshole part.
No, hey, you know, it's true. It's true.
We all play many different roles and many different characters. But the idea of faith, the whole purpose of religion and spirituality, it's to help you realize comfort in your own skin. That's the conclusion I've come to. This, I agree. We don't need a big team. We need a strong and healthy team. And every one of us has the opportunity to recruit and develop our team. Some of the team is given to us, through life relationships, family and such, but a small group of people determined to accomplish something, and they work together, they can do something pretty amazing. There's evidence of this all over this world. Every corporation, every service, every organization, it's done through a cooperation of people, a small team. And the different teams, well, we can accomplish great things when people work together.
Yeah, I've always said that about the community. Sometimes the work would never be done in the community because everybody wants to go their own way. So you're never gonna really be going in one direction to some degree. But with a smaller team, if you're all working on the same goals and have the same um same goals, I suppose it could be possible in a smaller group, like what your man just said in the chat. But big groups, nah, it's outdated now.
I kind of disagree. I think there's a time and a place for both. And I believe this is the time. We are at the age where we can learn how to get along. We can learn how to cooperate. I don't know that we can end war through comfort, but I know that ending war brings comfort. When people are no longer engaged in the battle, they allow themselves to relax. And I've wondered about this. My life, my purpose. I know the appearance of how it looks, but this is the life I've been given. Praise God. By God's grace at this time in the world, I actually get to try, with the idea that this could help, I get to try and help end wars from the comfort of my home, just using the technology and the tools that civilization has advanced.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is my purpose. I want to find a way, and I'm willing to leave this house for sure. I'm ready to leave the house, but the purpose is going to stay the same. I believe we can end wars, bring peace to this world, and bring forth some monumental transforms and change. By God's grace, it will happen. And I think it is. Peace is available when people stop choosing to fight. And we can stop choosing to fight when we communicate with each other. When we cooperate, when we communicate, we can cooperate. We can understand each other. But as long as we're seeing ourselves separated and competing, well, we stay divided. And if you look at the economic ratings, those of us who are sitting here, we're not winning. So I'd rather not be so divided, especially if we don't have to have such drastic differences between winners and losers. I was watching something earlier, a report on the criminal nature of Puerto Rico, how the government is just screwing over its people there, the residents of Puerto Rico, creating a safe haven for these wealthy people to go and pay no tax. Just it's friggin' criminal. The colonialist mindset, the slave master ideas of slave and slave owner, boss and employee, all of these labels and identities, people have been assuming those labels and identities, and they've forgotten who they are. and who we are just a moment of experience. And that moment is right now. I didn't want to I didn't want to admit that, and I tried to choose my words accurately. I don't feel I'm winning in this economic game, not yet, but I ain't done either. And none of us are done. We're not done unless we've given up. And the only way we give up is if we just stop trying to grow. Our participation in corruption is the corruption. Once you see this, the path of remedy begins to unfold. Thank you. Beautiful. Our participation is in corruption is the corruption. Every single one of us has the, let's call it a responsibility, but it's also an opportunity. We all have the opportunity to ensure that we're not corrupted. What corrupts us? Excuses and lies. Excuses and blame. Excuses and blame create a separation between us and responsibility. And if we want to overcome the corruption, we've got to recognize our involvement in the corruption on the individual scale and the macro. It's so beautiful how everything is designed. There's a perfection to the order of life and who we are. It's beautiful. Holy cows, man. I'm offering here regularly my praise, my genuine praise of God, my love of others, my love of life. And you want to paint the picture that I'm looking for other losers to keep me company. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Oh, hey, I just realized I should probably start wrapping it up. I didn't really allow you guys to even speak much, did I? That was kind of rude.
You're
Oh,
good, Jack. I like listening
Nah,
to you.
don't worry about it.
I
It's
like
your
listening
show,
to you,
dude.
Jack.
I'm gonna bow out. London man, you get last words, brother. Peace.
thank you, Moose. I appreciate it, brother.
Peace, Moose. Jack, just keep doing you, man. Just keep turning up whenever you feel like it. Don't let no one stop you from saying what you want to say. And the real ones always receive the message, man. The real ones always receive the message. Just keep doing you. Stay strong, bro.
Thank you,
Till,
London.
till next
Truly
time.
respect. Truly appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Peace.
And same for you too. I'm gonna drop you back, but I got in a few moments. I'm gonna go meet some other like-minded men and women here in town who care about peace. There are others who are aligned with the mission of Veterans for Peace, other men and women who raise their hands to serve. And I heard from this organization, Veterans for Peace, long ago. The wisdom is just so clear. The reality is, had the men and women of the wars of the past, had they returned and spoke openly, there would not be wars today. The evil that arises from war, from conflicts on this day of memorial, we got to realize the American government is funding the genocide and the oppression and funding the conflicts in what? What are they doing besides feeding evil? In the face of the ugliness of war, evil rises proudly. And through that evil rising proudly, fear casts its shadow long ways. And brothers and sisters, here today in this life that we are living on this day of memorial, I'm going to go join with other people like me to help remind others in our community that war is not the answer, that peace can be found. And we united here today in all these communities, in all these states, in all these nations, we can unite to overcome the corruption that has been enabled. Ending secrets, ending excuses and blame from your life places you on the path towards perfection. Think those thoughts through. Allowing yourself to rid yourself of excuses and blame places you on the path to perfect yourself, to allow yourself to become perfected, because without excuse, without blame, you become whole. And as you become more whole within you, you see your intricate, irreplaceable part of the whole. The whole world deserves a whole you, and there is a whole you waiting to be known. It's without the fractures of guilt and shame, regret, excuse and blame and fear and worry and all that stuff. Use this present moment and this reminder from me to you and from those in the chat too. Use the present moment of the now to unite yourself with what is real. What is real is your breath. Your breath brings forth the knowing of you. So know you one with the moment and fill yourself with the love and appreciation that you truly can find. I was going to say you deserve, but you decide through your own judgment. Do you deserve more gratitude in your life? Do you deserve more appreciation? How about more love? How about more growth? How about more? Brothers and sisters, sincerely, thank you again and have a blessed evening. Please do the algorithm thing and pay attention. Join us again in the future, probably tomorrow. Sincerely, thank you again. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. I think I said that wrong. God bless us. Have a good night. Thank you.